Can't get no sleeves for my records, can't get no laces for my shoes, can't get no fancy notes on my blue guitar, I can't get no antidote. Ooh. Oh yeah.
Wow!
I don't know why this is happening. They darken the windows, even though the sun's outside.
It makes a weird sound and then
Why? Never had that on a plane
we up in the sky, I think clouds and do like that.
and now it's back to normal again.
I wanna
got a huge headache at the moment. So I'm in Cyprus for a few days. Oh, it was a long flight. It was like a 5-hour flight. Well, it's 4 hours 30 flight from Bristol to Larnaca airport in Cyprus. And 5 hours going the other way, so I think I get another half an hour added onto my journey when I go back home. So, looking forward to that. So, a bit of background, my dad was in the military, so we moved a lot around when I was a kid, and I was born in England, but I feel like I was raised in Cyprus, in a place called Decalia, which is a UK military base, so I have a lot of early thoughts of my life from Cyprus a long time ago. So it's weird to finally be back here. Thinking all these thoughts I've had of my childhood from Cyprus come from 1989, 1990, 1991, somewhere around there. Like, it's this kind of Mediterranean deserty place with a lot of beaches. It's got a very distinctive kind of look to everything. And it's kind of a half Greek, half Turkish island with some British influence. But they're all together, but they're also apart. They can't like unify. So you've got this kind of split of North Cyprus and South Cyprus and the UK bases, and people all seem to talk to each other, I think, and get along pretty well. But there's also kind of, I don't know, some kind of political thing stopping people getting together. And uniting to just, I think there should just be like independent Cyprus. Just call themselves people from Cyprus, like no matter where they come from or what language they speak, whatever. So I wanted to come back here sometime as like just a bucket list thing to do. A bit like, I suppose, going back to Canada, which is another place where I live, is a bit of a bucket list thing that I might want to do one day. So I booked a hotel, which is this place, and after booking it online, I didn't look too much. I didn't look too deeply into it, basically. And after booking it for 5 nights, I found out that there was like no refunds available. I thought, okay, that's a bit odd. And then I read all the reviews of the place, and all the reviews of this place are kind of pretty bad. I don't know when they're from. I think some of them are old, like from 2013 or something. But there was kind of bad reviews of this place. But I thought I'll give it a chance. But then reading all the reviews, I got kind of worried. This particular apartment looks pretty good to me. I think it's a new block of studio apartments. It's got its own little kitchenette thing here, which I'll show you in a minute. I'm on like a high stool, which I quite like actually. I haven't been on a high stool in my house or anything before for a while. I kind of want to get one. If I get a house, I want to have like a high desk with a high stool. Anyway, there were reviews saying, okay, the manager and the staff were grumpy or something. I didn't know what to think of that. I didn't really care about that because, you know, some people have their own way of running their business, whatever. Like, or some customers maybe made them that way. But they were saying like ants get into the flats, and I thought, well, this is Cyprus. I've lived in Cyprus. There are ants, but this place looks pretty locked down. I don't expect much mosquitoes and ants to get in here, to be honest, but maybe 1 or 2 will show up, I don't know. Some people are saying the pool gave them ear infections, so not too keen on that. I think they're pumping chemicals into the pool that aren't very good, so if I go in the pool, which I might do, I'm going to keep my ears above water, I think, for a bit. But basically, after reading all the reviews, I was like, oh, why can't you refund this? And I thought this place could have the potential to be horrible, so I actually booked a second hotel for my last, 2 days here. So I'm going to move over to that one. If there's any problems with this one, you know, at least I've used some of my money. I know it's non-refundable, but at least I've got 2 nights out of it, which is how long I'm going to stay here before I move on to the other hotel. So I've given the guys a chance here, see if they can wow me. But the other thing here is this hotel has no Wi-Fi in the rooms, which is quite annoying. And there are stories on the reviews of like people stealing things, or people could come in off the street and steal things, or the maids could steal things, and I don't know whether it was true or not, but I didn't want to risk it for too much, so I'm going to keep a close eye on my stuff for the next 2 days, and then move over to a hotel that is just up the road, Makronesos, which has really good reviews, and nearly everyone says there's internet in the rooms. Hardly any reports of theft and things like that, and the rooms look pretty posh. I'm actually really impressed with how this room is, because the rooms on the review that people were talking about didn't look as pretty as this, I guess. Not that this is a pretty room. I'll just show you like this. So, your door, you put the key in here to power the electricity, but this, if you just walk in the door and put this in to here to power the electricity, this stays unlocked, so you're basically sleeping with the door unlocked unless you pull this out and in the pitch black fiddle around with the key to lock that door, and then put it back in here to turn the lights on after you've fiddled about in pitch black. So that's what I've done, so now it's locked. But you got this little kitchenette thing here. That's not too bad. I actually took a stool thing to prop the camera on, because I didn't bring a tripod, because you know how they are at airports. I don't know, could a tripod be a weapon? They probably might stop me and go, hey, tripods are weapons, you terrorist, get out. So I didn't want to risk it. These are these stools I'm talking about. I quite like them. I mean, these ones are a bit hard. I think that's basically just metal there. It's not very good on the back, but I like the height of it. The height of it actually helps my posture quite a lot, so that's quite cool. There's this kind of shabby sofa there. It's not very comfortable. We got a double. Well, it's not a double bed, it's 2 singles squashed together. And the big kind of wardrobe-y thing there. I think you can open this side as well. Yeah, looks pretty clean. I'm not going to watch the TV. Even if it was in England, I wouldn't watch a TV. The shower looks pretty fair, to be honest. I don't mind the shower. The photos on the review show it to be uglier than it is here. It doesn't look too bad, to be honest. And there's a kind of I'm on the ground floor, so it's not really a balcony, but there's a whining motorcycle out there somewhere. It's like whatever a balcony is when it's on the ground floor, I suppose. And there's the pool that gives you frigging ear ache or whatever, ear infections. So yeah, and you can lock these French doors, so I don't think any mozzies are going to get in. But they're not netted. It actually seems pretty cool in here. I thought you'd get really hot nights and I'd demand some air conditioning, although the next few days are going to be like 24 degrees, so we'll see how I fare. So, summary of the trip so far. Got to Bristol Temple Meads. Had a weird feeling arriving back in Bristol this time, because I've seen Sargon of Akkad going around doing street interviews in, well, he was in Bristol recently. He's going all around the southwest basically. He'll probably turn up in Plymouth some point soon. Not sure if I'll be able to go see him there or not, but mixed feelings about seeing Bristol again, mainly because I saw on Sargon's vid that Antifa definitely has a presence there now in my university town that I used to live in, which is fucking awful. great. We've got communist terrorists living in the city where I used to go to uni. That's brilliant. Thank you, England. I waited with a bunch of other couples for the airport flyer, which said on the side of the thing that they come every 10 minutes, but we waited 20 minutes for the only one that came. There were actually airport flyers coming, but every time you asked them where they were going, they said, "We're not going to the airport, mate. We're going to the bus station. We just come from the airport." I thought it was like a loop between the train station and the airport just for eternity, but it turns out some of the airport flyer buses don't go to the airport. Who knew? So that was a bit annoying. I was a little bit late getting to the airport, but when I got to the airport, my plane was delayed by 30 minutes or something. So I guess it all worked out in the end. Checked in the security. Actually, my boarding pass that I printed online this time, I guess that was a mistake. The barcode, they wanted me to scan the boarding pass in this rubbishy self-service checkout thing. You know, like how supermarkets and hotels and all this shit are doing robot checkouts instead of people you talk to. I think it's really annoying, to be honest. Anyway, they have one in the airport for your boarding pass, and you're meant to go in the thing, and it'll read the barcode on your printed boarding pass, but it didn't read mine. So I literally had to get shuffled off by a member of staff to an actual human, because the robot went wrong. And they reprinted my boarding pass and in a different fashion and scanned and gave it to me. But the thing is, I have to do that on the way back now, when I get to Larnaca Airport to fly out to Bristol. I have to check in. Yeah, I have to get them to print me a boarding pass, which is annoying. But whatever. Got on the flight. It was a pretty good plane. It was one of these Dreamliner things. I can't remember the actual model number of the plane. It was a fair-sized plane. It was a bit like the Lufthansa planes I flew on my second leg of the journey to Romania last year. So it's quite a big size. I suppose it needs to be, because this one was direct. I had no changes. When I went to Romania, I had changes in Frankfurt and Munich. With this one, I was going direct from Bristol to Larnaca. It was the only one I could find that would do it, and the cons of it would be that when it lands on a bank holiday at like 4 AM in the morning. So I can get trains out on a bank holiday, but all the buses in the place where I live basically don't exist on Sundays and bank holidays. So I've arranged for one of my parents to come pick me up at the train station on the way back. I got on the flight, and there's a bunch of frigging screaming kids behind me, which is great. I had to put up with them for the entire journey. That was kind of annoying. Also, you'll probably see it on the footage, they have this weird thing on these TUI Dreamliner jets where they don't have like a shutter over the window if you want to darken the window. They have this weird, I don't know how they were doing it really, it's like this weird kind of coating or electronic thing on the actual glass of the plane window, which could tint it at will. And there was like, it had a fader, like a dimmer for the amount of tint. And I didn't realise it even existed until they did this disco light show just before takeoff, where they completely dimmed everyone's window and then did coloured lighting on the ceiling for some reason. And I was like, what the fuck? Because they just blacked out all the windows for quite a while, and it just made it look like it was actually night outside. And I just thought, this is a pane of glass. What is this witchcraft? Is the paint electronically tinting? How do they do this? Does the aircraft have a skin that has newfangled intelligent technology on it? And I've kind of I don't know, half of me thought it was really gimmicky, and the other thought half of me was really impressed. And so I fiddled with a dimmer later on because, my god, the sunlight, you don't realise when you're looking out the window at all the kind of little tiny houses below and everything. Well, for me personally, how much the bright sunlight has an effect on your eyes and gives you this caning headache, which is what I'm just getting over now. It's starting to die down now. So I fiddled with a dimmer towards the end of the journey because I wanted less sunlight getting in my eyes, giving me the headache. And of course you got the kind of the buzz of the engine and the freaking loudmouth children in the seat right behind you. I swear they were like kicking my seat at one point from behind. I was like, children! Yeah. And the bloody, it was like an in-flight map thing on the seat rest. You know, sometimes they have a TV thing on the seat rest in front of you. I could set that to in-flight map thing, which is like a really poor man's version of Google Earth, where it just shows the plane and where it is presently. But you couldn't hold it on one screen. It just kept like flickering between like 6 different screens, one of which was a picture of the TUI logo, or was it TUI? I don't know how you meant to say it, and like a sunny Caribbean beach, like a friggin' desktop wallpaper, and then different zoom gradients of the map, like staged, like you couldn't interact with the screen and zoom it yourself in any way, and you couldn't freeze it on one page of the zoom. That was really frustrating for me. I don't know. I just want to be able to see where I am and not have it just suddenly turn off and go somewhere else. Then I took a taxi, which is not too, well, I mean, it's not too bad to start out with because I shared this, it was like a wide and long cab. I didn't know whether when they said airport shuttle I was going to get a car, taxi or a bus. And I guess it was a cross between the two, because I was sharing this long cab with like a... Well, their accent sounded like they were from Yorkshire, but it was a couple from Birmingham, like an middle-aged couple from Birmingham, and they said they'd been at the airport for ages, and they flew in from Birmingham, and it was their 50th wedding anniversary that they came down for. And they're going to somewhere near me beginning with P, like Practurnus, Praturclac, something like that. I don't know where that is, but I assume it's somewhere near me. Anyway, being in the back of that taxi was like the bumpiest frigging... He must have had super suspension on the back wheels. It was super bumpy, and you're in there for half an hour to get from Larnaca to where I am now, which is Ayia Napa, Macronessos, Nissi Beach area. I've been to Nissi Beach as a kid, so this was probably the best place I could think of to visit as a nostalgia trip, because I couldn't go to Decalia, which is a UK military base, because it's not really open to civilians. So I came here because I remember as a kid being brought out here as well. And that's where we are now, so tonight I'm going to sleep and get over my headache, and tomorrow I'm going to make sure, I'm going to figure out a strategy for keeping all my belongings super secure, and I might walk down the strip towards actual Ayia Napa town, which is like a long way down the road that way, to the east. I don't know how long actually, I think it's 2 miles maximum. There's a bunch of shops and stuff there. I'm also going to go to Macronessos Beach, which is the nearest beach. That should be a short walk down that way. And walk around, I think there's a little archaeological site. Eventually I'm going to take a dip in the pools and the sea. And I'll try and film a bit of it. I don't know, some of these areas are quite crowded, and I'm an introvert and I'm not very good with crowds, so I'm probably not gonna film where there's too many crowds. I'm not sure how I'm going to film near the water because I don't have any waterproof cameras anymore. I kind of really need a little GoPro, but it's expensive and I just bought a camera, so there's going to be not too much watery footage. And I don't want to prop my camera up where someone's going to steal it, basically, or something dumb like that. But yeah, gonna have an explore. I just got up on my first day and I was worrying last night, oh, there are cockroaches in Cyprus, aren't they? And people saying ants get in the hotel. Well, look what I found. I think I've just realised what this is. Okay, it's not ants and it's not a cockroach, but I was like, what's that? Is it a bit of rock? No. It's a fucking little dead lizard, man. It's only tiny. Jesus. The hotel's still pretty cool. I don't think it didn't really get hot this night, but there's this door, like, focus. But like this door, you touch it, there's some proper heat coming from that. And I realise it's like a metal door. I think the sun is shining on the other side of this door. That is actually as hot as a radiator. Look at this. Look at this. Sunny, sunny Cyprusian morning, boys. Look at that. Pool looks nice, no one's in it. Just sprayed myself in some DEET poison. Didn't spray myself all over because I have a habit of touching my eyes, and if I put it on my head, I have a habit of touching my head and stuff and then wiping my eyes, and it'd just be like putting poison in my eyes. So I've only sprayed it top of the arms, bit of the legs, back of the neck at the moment. Hopefully that'll be fine to keep the mozzies away. The birds are a-chirping. Another thing about this flight company, TUI, is that they have this really kind of obnoxious flight video on the back seat rests of you know, the thing the flight attendant ladies are meant to do with showing you like where the airbag is and stuff. They have like this advertised, like, sentimentalized thing that is really loud and comes up on all the seat rests, and it's like something, the sort of advert type thing that I just want to look away from, so it doesn't really do its job of teaching you safety, because it's trying to teach you safety stuff while doing this unnecessary playful bullshit. So I think I'm all securitized now. Keys. Don't think there's anything too valuable in the room, to be honest. Chargers and clothes. Gonna go forward out the front gate, then left up a road, then first right, and hopefully get to Mykonos beach. Yeah, I think that was a metal door and the sun was shining on it. Oh, I can see the sea. Oh, there's a supermarket down there. That's my current hotel, and there's a water park over that way somewhere. I don't know if I'll probably reach the beach by going down here, but I think it was saying to go here and then turn. My first moglet. He's sunbathing. At the moment here. Mykonos archaeological site. That should take us straight there. Because it's on a peninsula thing and the beach is either side. Oh man, looks so good. I haven't actually come with my trunks though. Not yet anyway. Oh, this is not quite where I was heading. You got these. I want to get on that rock. This is it. This is where I was heading. So I think there are like two sides to Macronissos Beach and a little cove, which I don't know if it has the same name. So I think I was on one side of it just there. And now I'm going up the peninsula to, I guess, Macronissos archaeological site. I don't know what they found there. It's probably not there now. Is it the public allowed in here? I don't know. Something 400 euros, something 49,000 euros. I don't know if you're actually allowed to go in or not. The excavations at Macronissos Cemetery began in November 1989 and ended in 1990 with revealed 19 tombs date back to the Hellenistic 323 BC and Roman period 30 BC era. The location was already well known and it had been target of illegal digging. Recent studies indicate that some of the tombs suffered because of the continuous use of quarry. A typical tomb consists of a stepped dromos, which leads to a rectangular stomion entrance. The entrances were originally sealed with one large or two smaller calcarenite slabs. Most of the chambers are almost identical. They are all provided with a rectangular trench in the middle, slightly lower than the floor of the dromos, and three benches at the sides of the chamber. The piles found on the surface by the dromol, don't know what that is, give evidence of the practicing of Greek burial customs. Some of the tombs have an additional loculus carved on the longitudinal axis of the tomb opposite the entrance, while another is provided with 4 benches at the sides and one opposite the entrance, thus providing room for 5 interments. The dead were placed in clay sarcophagi, which were originally covered with 3 flat tiles. One of the sarcophagi found on the site is displayed as Thalassa at Thalassa Museum. Excavations also revealed a small sanctuary, don't know what they mean by that, located very close to the burial site. It consists of simple rectangular enclosure concrusted with large irregular blocks. The few offerings found at the site date the sanctuary to the Cyprus classical and Hellenistic period. Well, I think maybe you can go in because this is just behind the gates and it's like a touristy information thing, talking about the tombs and stuff. So I think you can go in. I'm going to risk it until someone tells me to get out. Don't know if you can go into the actual tomb or not. Well, it's quite deep in there, I think. The door is very short. So these are the tombs of, is it Greeks and Romans? I can't tell. Ancient Greeks or ancient Romans. What did it say? 300 BC? I don't know how they squeezed in some of these. I mean, I know people are shorter back in the past, but that's a bit taking the mick. Maybe it's a tomb for a cat. These weird rocks here. So strange. Is that rock there? I think that's the other side of Macronessos Beach. It's a little bit quieter actually. And then there's a cove over there somewhere, I don't quite know how to get to it. At one of the bigger tomb entrances, this one actually has a door that looks slightly bigger. Oh, that's creepy. This was to bury, I guess, someone important a long, long time ago. And I wanted to cross this, and let me tell you, there'd be lizards. I ran into that bush. One lizard. See if any other lizards don't. Lizard. Can we see the lizard? Can we see it? Am I even looking at it? No. Lizard. Watch him dart. Watch him dart. Watch him dart. There he goes. Watch him dart. Little lizard dude. This is something I remember from Cyprus. Near where we used to live, there were there's a big field full of these things you had to cross. Oh, little tiny geckos and skinks running all over it. That's so cool. I think that one in my apartment was long dead. Oh, someone's made a way through here. I don't know what the fencing's for, but I'm gonna peek through it. The rock here is very strange rock. It's very sharp looking. And it gets to this bit. Let's go near this water maybe. Yeah, that looks, some of it gets really spiky towards the back there. I think there's a guy fishing over there. Might be nice to go down there for a minute near the water. Oh, there's litter. All these friggin' British tourists and whoever. Actually, I passed a bunch of people who I'm damn sure were Romanian on the beach from what they were saying. Little salty pool. Look at this. It's kind of cool. Where's the best place to go? Might dip into this ditch down here. Oh, I can smell that salty air. Oh, I forgot to get a tide times brochure thing. I don't actually have low tide or high tide or what. I think that just by how the waves are, the tides must be going out. I'm just guessing, right? I think sometimes the tides pushes in a lot stronger when it's coming in. So I might be wrong though. Yeah, this rock is very weird to walk on. Little crabbies. Probably some rock pools somewhere. There's a bunch more of them. The casual lizard skittering along the ground in front of me will never get boring, I think. So I wonder how you get down to that bay that's over there. Because there is a further bay. Maybe you do go around this somehow. Don't know how. There are people over there. How did they get over there? There's a path. There are people. That actually looks quite smooth over there. It doesn't look like all the crusty rock. How did they get there? Grr, how did they get there? This one's a bit different. Is this a sanctuary, I wonder? He said something about a sanctuary. Whoa! There's some other stuff here. Oh, this is like one of those tombs, except the lid has come off. I don't know about that one though. Charred wood. Oh, this is one of the tombs as well. It's just the top has come off in a really weird way. So I don't know where the sanctuary is. Yeah, still got the stairs and everything. Little tiny one here. Oh, this is accessible from the other side actually. If you're a kid, you can go in and climb out. Oh, in fact, that's probably what's happening. It's like a big grasshopper or something. Just landed here. I was saying the card is nearly out? How did that happen? Oh, this is the path to the left of the archaeological site. This is probably how those people got around the back there. It says my card's gonna run out, so I might have to exchange my digicam card into my camcorder. Or find an electronics shop around here. Oh, this is a cool little place here. Look at this place. Cool. You can get to the end of the peninsula. There's that windsurfer guy still up there. Somewhere. I don't know if I'm zooming in on him. Oh, there we go. I guess that hidden cove is around here. Let's go have a quick look. Yeah, there's a nice sneaky cove around here, which is pretty cool. I think it's popular though, so it might not be that calm. Look at this weird landscape. It's like there's a natural wall. I don't know if it's natural. I guess it's natural. It's like a natural flat area surrounded by a crusty wall. That could be good for rock pooling, look at that. there's something in there. I bet there's a crab in there or something. Not quite sure what the best way down is. Probably get to it from the cove. These natural forms are so weird. How the wind weathers the rock. Just climbed down there. I'm in this weird moon sky. Okay, so the battery's out on my big cam. I was just saying I walked down there and we're in this weird kind of moon crater. You can't tell if it's man-made or natural. It just looks like a cross between the two. Right, look at this. Look at that. And there's something kind of like a fish over here. Like tiny fish, I guess. Or maybe they're insect. No, they're not. They're pond skaters. I thought they were fish, but they're not. Miles down the strip at Iron Napa, trying to find a 64GB SD card, so I hope this one works. I don't know how many miles I walked, but it looks like I've walked past Nissi Beach, so I should be able to calculate. I think this one is Vatiagonia Beach? Vatiagonia, something like that. And it's not cold, but it clouded up and it got really windy. And I think the tide's coming in. The sea's super choppy right now. And super windy. And I think I felt rain, but I'm not sure. It might have just been loose spray flying off the sea. I probably spent too much time on airplane footage out the window because I'm a little bit obsessed with airplanes and airports. So my first SD card ran out. Hopefully we're good to go for a bit. Gotta go over there. Gotta go back over there. But I'm gonna follow the coast instead of the strip road this time. Seems a bit cold to swim right now, but some people are trying to swim just now. I don't know, but this is the coldest Cyprus has got so far. I'm feeling a bit of the wind chill, but it's still not actually cold. I think it's the sea spray that's hitting me, not like rain. Look how crazy that is. I might go over to that rock. What does this say? There are rules. What are the rules? Don't pick flowers, don't step on the grass. What is this, nature preserve? No walking on the grass. That's a bit weird. Alright. This is a protected environmental area, I guess. A little cat. That's my number 4. Meow. It's kind of idyllic looking, isn't it? Oh, that pool though. That is a good one. I don't know what that is. Jesus, look at that place. I don't know, there's something appealing about that. It's very clean and orderly. This is Nissi Beach. Don't know what that is. So I remember coming out here and the sound along the island, especially as a kid. This is Prince. Neophytus A. Paulu, 34 years old. Hey, that's my age. Lost his life while trying to save something. I can't read that word. Aforementioned? Something tourist in danger of drowning. A foreign tourist in danger of drowning. Jeez, that's hard to read. There's some kind of alien egg over there. Freaking Giga planted that and walked off, maybe. Or am I going to get a face hugger? Am I going to get a face hugger? Nope. Nissi Blue. That's the posh apartments that I saw earlier. Hey! That's hard work walking on soft sand. My feet are all slipping right in. I feel like wobbly and awkward, like a clown in clown shoes. That's what Ibiza must be like. And some of these beaches here seem like they're used for weddings, and I think we're coming to a thing that looks a bit like that now. Not only are they an enormous unnecessary clutter, but you have to pay for them. It's essentially just like a park bench. Oh, gigarish nightmares! Facehugger! a dinghy. Oh, it's quite fun. Apparently it's a danger for swimming. This is like nature graffiti. Someone's seen a plant and thoroughly abused it, like... I think it used to be a cactus or something. I don't know what this is. They graffitied the fuck out of it with all their names. Like a bunch of chavs. And there's another one over there. Ecologist versus chav. That's a kind of a weird scene. Oh, I think someone's camping, right? That makes sense. There's a distant bit near the southeastern tip of Cyprus, I'm guessing. What's kind of worrying is that Syria's over that way, not too far over the sea that direction. Horrible things going on in that country. Sure what this beach is, but I'm just guessing by the fact that it has a giant hotel complex on the end that it's not one I've been to. I think it's Landa Beach. I want to sit on this bench, but I have a feeling that as soon as the wind stops, you get thwacked in the face by this funny fucker. It's like twanging a ruler. Now, I swear. Hoot, come on, damn you, hoot. It was going woo. There's some gentle waters here at, I think, Landa Beach. I'm gonna guess that's what this is. I can't tell if it's because the rocks are breaking the water or if the tide has come in and now is going out. These weird little picnic spots in the woods everywhere. I didn't notice that jetty. Must have walked past it. That's cool. Not gonna lie, that pizza I had at the steakhouse was a bit massive. Also, the tablecloth wanted to blow away in the wind completely. It was literally trying to do so while I was eating. Of course, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it suddenly be windy as soon as I start to eat dinner finally? And it hasn't stopped since. Anything? Any clips? shells, I guess, but I was expecting crab. Let's just watch these guys. This is actually Macronissos Beach I'm walking down. The peninsula bit looks the same, sort of. Maybe that's the archaeological dig site, in which case I'm close to my hotel. Yeah, this is where I came earlier. It's weird how different it looks. There is a loud fucking a loud fucking bird in that field. Some variety of crow. Don't know what the tide situation is. Don't know if it's in or out. It's another one. Ow. Okay, this is my second hotel, Macronissos Village Apartments, and I've got to wait a while to check in, but they have Wi-Fi, so I'm just going to find out, I guess, where the pool area is. I don't know. Let's have a look around. I don't know what the bungalows are. Oh, they're at the top before the road, so over there somewhere. I think each little house bit that a guest gets is one of these things with the hoops in front of the entrance. I don't know which kind I'm in, or which colour. Oh, I have to go here. They're actually really posh inside from what I could see on the photos. Yes, the pool area is over there. So now I'm at the slightly posher Macronissos Village Apartments, and we're up kind of high on this one. Have to go up some stairs. We don't have one of the ones with the hoops, but we're just across from the pool. And the apartment's just in here. That's a lot posher than the other apartment. It's got the key in the door thing again. Another not quite double bed, it's kind of split in the middle again. I thought it was going to be a single double bed. Don't know what that is. There's a bathroom in here. It's kind of posh, but the shower is like, it doesn't go above you, it goes side on. So I was fiddling with this until I realised that the shower just has to slot in like that. So you're literally getting a diagonal beam on yourself. It's pretty sweet, pretty posh apartment. I haven't opened any of these yet. I wonder if you'll get a view. What's down here? Oh, you get a little, you get an actual full-on kitchen. It's like a flat. It's like you're living in an actual flat. Okay, let's see what the view's like on these things. You got a view of other people's apartments. That's not a very good view out that way. I guess it's just going to be a view of other people's apartments, basically. Oh, you've got a friggin' balcony out there. What the fuck? Has this got a middle section? No, it doesn't. There's an actual let's step back so you can see it. There's an actual balcony out there. What the hell? This is mental. Should have stayed here for all my nights. And they got Wi-Fi, that's the most important thing. So I can actually contact people. Pool was fun. It must have been ages since I'd last been in a pool, so that's like a landmark event for me. Now I'm watching these little chaffinches or some kind of finch. They're bopping around outside the balcony. Bird fight! Bird fight! What are you doing? Very angry with each other for some reason. There's a colourful lizard down there, mates. I want him to come back because he's colourful. Where are you? Where are you, bro? Buddy? Oh, can you see? Can you see him? Kind of, I took a different path down the side from the hotel than I did last time, where I heard the weird, crazy birds at dusk. I was hoping there'd be a track here, but the track keeps vanishing. There's kind of a car track here, through the grass. I would just hope there's no questing ticks hoping to quest on me. Stop questing on me, motherfuckers. I'm gonna check my legs every now and then, because there's like long grass here. I'm hoping maybe this track won't disappear and I can get to the beach. It looks like maybe I might be able to. On a weird large open area of this dumping ground. I don't know what they're building over there to the right of the beach. It's like a gigantic busy building site. I think I read somewhere it might be Macronissos Marina or something. Tons of building going on there. Some hay bales. Some lizardy dudes up here. They're on the ground. Can you see them? Can you see them? Woohoo! It actually led to the track. Good, that's what I wanted. Gonna do a broken arrow music moment, alright? You got thistles. Lots of thistles. Last time I was on these at dusk, some of the rock was a little bit slippery, even though it didn't look like it. I think it's the light coloured rock where it's like, it's got mud on it. Well, wet sand, I suppose. Rock pools! Rock pools! I don't have a net with me. I don't have a bucket and a net. What can we see? There's something over there, maybe some kind of... in that one, I saw it. I fucking saw it. Come on. There's a shrimpy looking guy in there too, just down there. There's somewhere. There's a shrimpy guy. He moved over. Definite fish. They're small though, I saw a bigger one. There we go. A shani or a blenny. I was talking to the hotel receptionist for the second hotel, the one I've just checked into, and I was like, hey, nobody around here seems to know what tides are. Like, I asked for tide times and tide timetables, and they're like, what is that? I was like, well, the sea goes in and it comes out, and you know, there's a timetable of when that happens. And they're like, ooh. And I asked this hotel receptionist, who spoke English because she was from London, and she was like, oh, tides don't happen here. I was like, excuse me? Tides don't happen here. And she was like, well, it doesn't go up and down that much or something. And I was like, oh, maybe this is something to do with the Mediterranean Sea being surrounded, you know, separate from the oceans or something. But it just made me laugh that she's like, oh, tides don't happen here. I've obviously entered this weird new region of the Earth where somehow the moon stops existing when you go there. That's a crab right there. He moved earlier, I swear. Wonder if I can make him move. Oh! Where'd he go? Oh, buddy. Just see another one actually. Swam in the sea at Macronissos Beach. Seems like another landmark or highlight for me because I don't think I've properly swam in the sea for like over 15 years or something. I probably paddled lightly in the sea for a moment when we went to Woolacombe, but I haven't like swam in the sea for like 15 years or until now. So that's like a experience from my past. It was actually easier swimming in the sea than swimming in the pool for some reason, which I've also done. I don't know why. It's weird. As a kid I thought I could hardly swim. I could only just manage the 25 meters in a frantic doggy paddle. Now I'm getting back in the pool and the sea. I'm suddenly able to actually swim a lot better. I don't understand how that's happening, but I can keep buoyant and I can actually do various swimming moves a lot easier now than I used to be able to as a kid. Very strange. I don't know how that happened. Electric cookers baffle me. I'm not used to electric. I'm not sure how hot is too hot, what to touch, what not to touch, whether to get water on it or not. I'm used to gas. Gas hobs. They make sense. You can actually see the flame. Not too bad. This is something like the 6th cat. I was watching it while I was by the pool. If only my cam could focus on it. Oh man, there's some big dudes. Some big fellas. He's on the tree. Is he in the tree? There's a huge lizard over there. Well, bigger than the other ones. There he goes. my last day here. I'm in the moon crater again. Over on Mykonos beach back there. I had what I think is going to be my last swim in the sea of the trip. I swam for ages in the sea actually until my fingers went wrinkly, so probably not anymore. And I got this hat. I choose this one because it reminds me a little bit of Hannibal Lecter. It sounds a bit weird, but like in the film Hannibal, he's in disguise in Italy as Dr. Fell and he wears a hat like this and it looks quite cool, I think. Anthony Hopkins. Oh look, who's above me now. I didn't think they'd come above me. I guess the boat is round the edge of the crater, but the parasailer people are actually above me. I got this little ice cream from a beachfront shop, and there's like no spoon contained within at all. So I'm literally like here ransacking my bag. Okay, what do I have that's like a tool? And I just like found my biro, just like using the end of the biro as a spoon. Because what kind of people are these people? Not including spoons in beachfront ice creams. What, you think people are going to bring a spoon to the beach? What the fuck, man? Come on. Include spoons in your ice cream tubs, Jesus Christ. I'm probably very lobster-fied right now. But I'm trying to lobster-fy my front because my back's already caught the sun and is quite red, I think. But my front is white and pasty as a vampire. Just gotta hope my actual taxi shows up. It is time. Bye bye Cyprus, nice knowing ya. It was a long 30-minute wait in the gate. Twisty tunnels. Wait, what the heck am I saying? 11A, okay. 11A. 11A.
4 degrees. For your safety, we ask you please to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain has switched the signs off. Now that we've left the runway, you can use your handheld electronic devices. Before you leave today, please ensure you have everything with you. Take a good look in the seat pockets, underneath your seat, and in the overhead compartments. Do take care of the compartments to ensure that nothing is moved during the landing run that could fall out and cause injury.
Sky. I thought it'd be just pitch black. 4:30-ish a.m. Oh God. Really? I'm waiting for 6:30 a.m. in Temple Meads in Bristol. It's now 6 o'clock. Didn't know it was going to be so cold. My fingers are going white. It's actually freezing. I didn't pack any clothes for this eventuality. And also it's daylight. And I thought it was going to be dark for some reason. Like getting out of Bristol Airport at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. I thought it was going to be like pitch black out, but it's actually bright. So I've doubled up my hoodies, which I never normally do. It's icy as fuck here. I thought in May the mornings would actually be like warm by now, but we're getting a bit of a cold May at the moment. I hope it starts to warm up in Britain. Missing Cyprus temperatures already.